It is also the appearance day of Sri Pundarik Vidyanidhi, who happens to be the father of Srimati Radharani and Krishna's Srila, Sri Brishabhanu Raj. One time Lord Chaitanya in Navadwipa began to call out, Bap Pundarik, Father Pundarik, and he was weeping and crying, Pundarik, Pundarik. The devotee said, who is this Pundarik? Is it Krishna? He said, someday, very soon, a very great personality who we've never seen before will come to Navadwipa. So he came, but he was a very extraordinary personality. Pundarik Vidyanidhi was the greatest Vaishnava, but he was very wealthy. The standard of his devotion is he would never go in the river Ganges because he felt that the river Ganges is so holy and Mother Ganges is so merciful that he would not want to touch his feet to the river. And he couldn't bear going to the Ganges when other people were there because he'd see them spitting, blowing, washing clothes. He just couldn't tolerate it. It would break his heart. So very early in the morning before anyone, he would go and he would bow down and he would sprinkle the water on himself and drink that water. He lived in Chattagong, but he had a house in Navadwipa. So he arrived in Navadwipa. And no one knew who he was, but Mukunda Datta. He's from Chattagram, so he knew. So he approached Gadadhara Pandit. Gadadhara Pandit was a very, very great devotee. From his birth, he was always worshipping Radha and Krishna and was completely detached from anything of this world. So he said to Gadadhara Pandit that there's a great Vaishnava that has come. Would you like to meet him? So Gadadhara Pandit was very happy. Yes, I would like to meet a great Vaishnava and receive his blessings. So they went to Pundarik Vidyanidhi's house and he very cordially greeted them. But Gadadhara Pandit looked. He was wearing very, very expensive silk clothes and he had jewelry on. And he was chewing pan, and his hair was so beautiful, combed, so intricately, finely combed, and scented with the most expensive oils. And there was very soft, comfortable pillows all around him. And there was highly polished brass vessels and mirrors that he would sometimes look in to see himself. And there were servants, and they were fanning him with very fine-handled chamara fans. And Gadadhara Pandit was thinking, this is a Vaishnava? He's a sense enjoyer. So Mukunda Datta understood Gadadhar's mind. So he sang a beautiful sloka from Srimad Bhagavatam. And when Mukunda Datta sang, he had the most sweet, beautiful voice. He sang a verse, the Supreme Lord Krishna. He is so merciful that Putana, the sister of Bakasura, smeared poison on her breast and came to kill him. She was such a Rakshashi demon. But Krishna sent her back to the spiritual world and gave her the topmost liberation of being his own mother in Vaikuntha, Goloka. Where is such a great, merciful Lord to be found as him? And when Pundarik Vidyanidhi heard this, in great humility, he began to cry out, I am so fallen. The Lord has come to deliver everyone except me. Where is such a merciful Lord to be found? And in his humility of divine love, his limbs began to tremble, his hair stood on end, tears began to flow from his eyes like the rivers Ganges and Jamuna. And all the ecstatic symptoms of love of God manifested in such a way, they started battling against each other. And he just started calling out beautiful prayers of humility for the Lord to save him. Oh Lord, my master, will you not be merciful to me? And he began to kick. And as he kicked, he started breaking all the pots. All of the beautiful silk sheets on the bed and the pillows were just being ripped to pieces. And then he started tearing up his own clothes and all his jewelry. It was like tidal waves of ecstatic symptoms. And 10 men tried to hold him down, but they just went flying in all directions. And for some hours he was like, finally it came to such a peak of ecstasy, he just fell unconscious in samadhi. And when Gadadhara Pandit saw this, he felt very bad. That I was thinking he's materialistic. What kind of ecstatic devotee is he? And he told Mukunda Datta that I have made an offense to him. I want to worship him. In order to make proper spiritual advancement, everyone must get initiated by a proper spiritual master in disciplic succession. And Gadadhara expressed, I have not yet taken initiation. I want to take diksha from him. Pundarik Vidyanidhi was directly a disciple of Madhvendra Puri, who was the param guru of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After 6 hours of being in trance, Pundarik Vidyanidhi came to consciousness. And when he saw the room around him and understood what he had done, he became very shy and embarrassed and humble. And he greeted his guests, and Mukunda Datta explained, Gadadhara Pandit is completely renounced from birth, so humble, so gentle, so learned in the scriptures, and such a great devotee. He wants to take initiation from you. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi agreed. He said, it's only by the supreme causeless mercy of Lord Krishna that one can get a disciple like Gadadhara Pandit. And Gadadhara Pandit went and asked Lord Chaitanya's permission, and he immediately said, yes, this is perfect. When Pundarik Vidyanidhi went to meet with Lord Chaitanya, they both began to bathe each other with tears of ecstatic love as they embraced. It's a beautiful, beautiful story and pastime. In this way, Pundarik Vidyanidhi became one of the most intimate, loving associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his pastimes in Navadwipa. He was always immersed in kirtan of the holy name and chanting and dancing, and he became the guru of Gadadhara Pandit. So these are some wonderful stories about the wonderful character of Srila Pundarik Vidyanidhi, the constant associate of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Krishna in the mood of Radharani, so he actually honored and loved Pundarik as his own father.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on thesacredconnect.com.